Kano State Government has approved the deduction of over 670 million naira from the state/local government joint account to fund the procurement and refurbishment of vehicles for the Kano Emirate Council under Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II. A leaked official letter dated March 25th, 2025 and now circulating widely online instructs each of the state's 44 local government areas to contribute 15.2 million naira towards the project. The funds are to be paid to Sotom Synergy Resources Limited. The firm contracted to deliver 4 brown new Toyota Land Cruiser VXR 2024 full option vehicles and refurbish a 1969 Rolls-Royce DH420 and a Cadillac limousine. The document titled Conveyance of Approval for the Release of Funds was signed by Abubakar S. Dabo, Director of Local Government Inspection on behalf of the Commissioner for Local Government Affairs. It emphasizes strict adherence to due process when implementing the directive. While supporters claim the move reflects an effort to restore the traditional prestige of the Kano Emirate, others, after Sanusi's reinstatement, critics argue the spending is tone deaf amidst widespread economic hardship and failing infrastructure across the local government areas. Social media has since erupted with mixed reaction. One user, Mubashiru Saidu, described the directive as oppression, urging leaders to prioritize the needs of ordinary citizens. The state government is yet to issue an official statement on the matter. Usually in Nigeria, when a government begins, you find out that there's always a need to get new vehicles, renovate something, rebuild something. What are your thoughts on this report?
For me, it's the new Nigeria that we are seeing right now, where those in power are not investing in capital projects. They are busy investing in projects that will not develop the people, that will not develop the community, that
based on human capital development.
Yes. Now, spending that kind of money to buy cars that the emir will use, for me, doesn't make sense. But if that money now, if this taxing of this money, this 15 point something million right now, they taxed all these states under the emirate and saying, okay, get this money, we want to build schools, we want to build hospitals, we want to build this, we want to build that. And this emir is able to build stuff that will improve the community. The internal generated revenue for his emirate might be able to buy him those cars ×3 if he looks at development, if he looks at providing credit so that people can be able to have money for capital to do businesses, so that people can be able to have money to start up new businesses, do trainings. If he can develop his community and develop his people, the internally generated revenue will be so much that he will have all this. But now, by the time these cars are renovated, the question is, how many places is he going to drive these cars? Let's check it out. If he's traveling to any meaningful place, he's going to be flying to that place. If he's traveling to any meaningful place, even within those states, sometimes they use helicopter. So those cars now, when will he use them? So it's either of two things. That money is needed for something else. But because the money has to be accounted for, that is why they named it the things that they named it. But probably that money is for something else. But there is something else that cannot be spoken publicly.
Right.
Because if you check it, they are refurbishing a Cadillac, refurbishing this. How many cars will he drive at the time?
Exactly where I was headed.
How many cars will he be inside at the time? Even if they had even said, okay, we are selling these ones off, to take the money of this one that we are selling off now, to see whether we can buy these other ones. The 2004 car, Toyota, what, fine, I can understand. But then taxing them this amount of money just to buy cars, not even to renovate a hospital or renovate, they should enjoy.
In an area that has grappled with security concerns, in an area that is currently...
I wish the money was even used to set up some new security outfits, buy ammunition for the police. I will understand. Why just for car, for an emir to drive.
Now, one of the things that is usually outstanding to me is when someone leaves power.
Yeah.
Usually, when vehicles are given, they are called official vehicles. That means it belongs to whatever organization you represent during your official duty time.
Yes.
Do they usually leave with these vehicles? Because
The
if you're going to be buying 4 new cars, how many cars is the emir going to use at once?
The truth of the matter is this: even if the vehicles were left, the one coming in will not want to drive an old car. That's the problem we're having. Because remember that this is car
for a country that we live off of borrowing.
This car is used for 8 years, and in 8 years, brand new cars have come. So that's why most of the times they allow them to go with it, because even the new person coming in won't want to use it. He wants to buy his or her own.
So why don't they buy it out of pocket?
But that's wrong. You understand me? Like the American president's car, which is I think they call it the Beast. They don't buy new ones every year. It's a customized car that is being maintained. The only thing that happens is that maybe after a period of time, the car is being equipped with the latest, you understand me, with the latest technologies to be able to meet current day threats, to protect the president. But you don't see this madness that we have here. So for me, I just pray that God will give us a Nigerian, not an Hausa man, not a Yoruba man, not an Igbo man, to be our leaders, governors, senators, the president of the country. That God will give us a Nigerian, not an Hausa man, not someone that will get in there and be trying to represent a tribe, but someone that will get in there and have Nigeria as a country at heart. That's why America is doing well, because every president that goes there will tell you America first. That's why China is doing well, because anybody that goes in there will not be talking about the community where he came from. They'll be trying to see how they can make China a world power, how they can make their country known, not the individual, but their country known. And that's what we're having, the problem we're having, because even the governors, the senators, everybody is thinking about their pocket, their immediate family.
Why then this mindset? Why do you think we have this mindset?
Why we have the mindset we have is because, for me, it still begins from family.
How do you mean begins from family?
It begins from family. Because there's what we call the soul of a nation. The average American child is made to believe that he or she is superior to the world. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget you're an American. They don't tell you, don't forget the child, don't forget where you are from. Don't forget the community. Don't forget. No, they will tell you, remember you're an American. So anywhere you find yourself, you are an American. You are an Englishman. That is the mindset. You are from Great Britain. Okay, look at the way they train the prince of Great Britain. I watched something one time when they were in a ranch, and then a bull broke loose and started charging towards the prince. The prince didn't run. Everybody was screaming, "Prince, get out of there!" Because when the bull was still far away, the prince could have left the scene. But the prince did not move. Why? Because the prince was trained not to run from anybody, not to talk of an animal. It took the royal guards to shoot it down. If they had not shot it down, the prince wouldn't have moved an inch. That was the training. Because the prince of the kingdom of Great Britain cannot run from anything. Look at the training. But our own down here, you are going to school, they will tell you, your parents will say, look at my armpit though. There's nothing we have. when you go there, be careful, don't enter trouble. Oh. You know, we don't have money. Then when that kind of a child now enters power, what will they be thinking? I know where I'm coming from. My people will never be poor again. So he doesn't care about the states, doesn't care about the country. What he cares about is making sure that everybody from my lineage, everybody should escape poverty. Why? Because of the way they are raised. We are raised to survive. We are not raised to be significant. We are raised to survive. So the reason why you are fighting, reading, going to school, doing everything you are doing, is so that you can survive. You can have food, so that in my family, when they mention our name, people will respect us. That's survival. That's not significance. So that's why we're having the problems we're having. But if we are raised to become Nigerians, to live a life that you know that I'm a Nigerian, as you are doing what you're doing, you have that mentality, I'm representing a country. It comes to that point where even if I'm a Yoruba man conducting an interview, I am not after whether you're my brother or my sister.
Right.
What I'm after is who's going to give me what I want, who will do the best job. Do you understand me?
Right.
Who will do the best job? Sometimes you look at our national teams, you find out that most times certain ethnic group is dominant. Why? Because we must have more. If the people recruiting are Yorubas, you have so many Yorubas. Then let our people go there. Even if you know something what to do, let them go there and eat the money. But they are not after Nigeria winning. They are after, let it be on record that we produce more of Yorubas in this team, or more Hausas in the team. That doesn't make sense. So please, for me, this is not okay. This money should be raised to better the communities, to better those states. As an emir, he can leave a legacy that probably, let's say, electricity was not working. But since this man came into power as our emir, there is no community you go to that there is no electricity.
Right.
There's no community you go to that there is no clean water. There's no community you go to that there is no... Let him do something for the people. Let him do something for the people. For me. Just like what Donald Duke did in Cross River State.
Okay.
When I was in Calabar, I don't know if that's changed now. It doesn't matter how rich you are, you cannot sink a borehole in Calabar. It doesn't matter the mansion you build, you can't sink a borehole. You must use the water board of Cross River State. And he did it so well that it was working with, just like you have this prepaid now. It was working so well. In fact, it was in Calabar I saw prepaid for the first time many years ago, 2009. There was prepaid for light, there was prepaid for water, and the water current was so strong that your shower in the house runs well, not with a tank hanging somewhere. The normal water board provided by the government. Your shower will run, your sink will run. You guys will use water as though you have your own borehole in the house. Now, he was able to do that to make more money for the state. So, as a governor, he had more money to enjoy because he provided basic amenities. I remember then, 1,500 for water can last you for a month, and depending on, and it is, there's something they come to put in every compound. In every compound, that thing comes just one. So you guys can contribute and recharge it. To every compound, there's one of that stuff, and the water current is okay, and the water is neat, treated well. So I just use that as an illustration.
Right.
With that now, that means it doesn't matter how rich you are, you cannot own your own water. You must use the government water.
And for that, the water must be good.
The water must be good, and then you have to pay for it. So the government now has money coming in. The same thing with light. And the light was always coming. So if you look at it very well, you find out that if you develop your place, you have money to spend. But the problem is that they want to spend first without developing where they are all coming from, and it's not right. So that's what I can say for this.